17 years. That's how long I played wife, secretary, housekeeper, therapist, and personal assistant to one man who thought chores were beneath him. Fast forward 5 years after our divorce, I'd finally moved on. But then one day my phone rings. And it's him. Apparently, after 5 years of silence, his life had fallen apart. And somehow it was my fault. What started as an annoying phone call turned into the most satisfying revenge karma could have written. If you've ever had someone take your effort for granted, if you've ever carried all the weight while someone else just coasted, then grab your popcorn, hit that like button and get ready. Because this is the story of how I finally stopped cleaning up after my ex, and let karma send him the bill. The perfect marriage, on paper. When I first met Mark, he was everything society calls a real man. Rugged, confident, hardworking. The kind of guy who'd fix the sink but couldn't find the paper towels if you paid him. And at first I didn't mind. He worked long hours at his job, and I was the organized one. So, naturally I took care of the little things, the bills, the laundry, the dentist appointments, the birthday gifts, the Christmas cards for his parents. I told myself that's what love is. You pick up where the other person falls short. But over time, helping turned into doing everything. If life were an office, I was the CEO, project manager, and administrative assistant, while Mark was the guy who occasionally showed up for meetings and took credit for the results. It wasn't just physical labor. It was mental load. I was the one who remembered when his car insurance renewed, when the water bill was due, when the vet appointment was scheduled. And every time I tried to talk about it, to say, "Hey, can we share some of this responsibility?" He'd laugh and say, "You're just better at that stuff. You're more organized." That's the thing about emotional labor. It's invisible until you stop doing it. But back then I was too exhausted to stop. You know, that kind of tired that's not just in your body but in your soul. That's where I lived. The moment it all snapped. One night, after yet another argument about how he works harder, I was sitting in the kitchen surrounded by bills, laundry piles, and a half-cooked dinner. He came in, dropped his dirty work boots right in the middle of my clean floor, and said, "You know, you'd have it easy if you just appreciated what I do." Something inside me just broke. I remember looking at those boots, caked in dirt, right next to the dishwasher I just unloaded, and realizing he didn't see me as a partner. I was staff. And that's when I knew I was done. I filed for divorce 2 months later. He didn't fight it much. I think he honestly believed I'd come crawling back once I realized how hard it was to live alone. Spoiler, I didn't. 5 years of peace. Blissful, quiet peace. I'd built a new life, a new home, and most importantly, a new sense of self. Then one random Tuesday afternoon my phone lights up. Mark actually laughed. I hadn't heard his voice in half a decade. I let it go to voicemail. 2 hours later, another call. Then another. And another. Finally, curiosity won. Picked up. "Hey," I said cautiously. And immediately, that familiar, irritated tone snapped through the phone. "Why haven't you called the insurance company?" he barked. And blinked. "What insurance company?" "My auto and home insurance," he said like I was supposed to know. "You're still listed on it, and they won't remove you unless you call. You need to do it today." I couldn't even process it. I hadn't lived there for 5 years. And now it's suddenly an emergency. I asked, "Wait, why haven't you called them?" He sighed, annoyed. "I did. They said you have to be the one to remove yourself. You've created a big problem for me, you know." There it was. The classic Mark. Something goes wrong and it's my fault. For the next week, he called every single day. Voicemails, texts, even an email or two. All of them the same passive-aggressive tone. "You're being difficult. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I can't believe you do this to me." I almost felt like I was back in that marriage again. Blamed for things I didn't do, expected to fix everything. But this time I didn't owe him anything. So finally I decided, fine. Call. But not for him. For me. Because I wanted to be done with this once and for all. I dialed the insurance company. The woman who answered sounded cheerful, one of those people who makes customer service feel like therapy. I explained the situation and she paused. Then she said, "That's odd. We actually would have removed you if he'd called. I can see all call records here. And there's no sign he's ever contacted us." "Oh really, Mark?" My lips curled into a slow, wicked smile. Then the agent continued, "But just so you know, removing a spouse from a policy changes the marital status to single male. That'll raise his rate considerably. Are you sure he wants this?" Actually laughed. "Oh yes," I said. "He's very sure. In fact, I haven't lived there for 5 years, so you might want to backdate that change." He chuckled. "We can definitely note that. He's going to get quite the bill." And in that moment, I felt 5 years of unpaid emotional labor finally settle its account. I didn't need to see his face to imagine it. The email, the new premium notice, the updated balance due. Probably sitting at his kitchen table, staring at that number, red-faced and fuming. Maybe even muttering, "This is her fault." But deep down he'd know the truth. For once, I hadn't lifted a finger to fix it. He'd built a world where I was responsible for everything. And now, for the first time, he was alone with the mess. Not my circus, not my monkeys, and definitely not my insurance policy. Looking back, that wasn't just about money. It was about closure. For years, he treated me like an unpaid assistant. And in the end, the universe made sure he finally understood just how much my invisible work was worth. Sometimes karma doesn't send an apology, sends an invoice. If that revenge gave you chills, hit that like button and tell me in the comments. What's the pettiest, most satisfying dose of karma you've ever seen someone get? And of course, subscribe for more stories of poetic justice, where life finally balances the scales. 'Cause sometimes, the sweetest revenge is just letting the bill come due.